Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil and today we are here at Liffey Mills. We are going to be doing a mill tour, having a look at how the toasters work and all the insides of the mill, stuff that you don't normally get to see, so should be quite interesting. We're here with Mick. He's going to show us around the mill and tell us about how everything works. And as you can see, masks on, and we will go for the tour now. I suppose there's not much else to say, so
So we'll show you the toasting plants first. This is one of the intakes. So on this intake here is whole maize. So this maize will be about 14.5% moisture on the intake. That goes in through the system. We add moisture up to 27% moisture, and then it goes through the toaster. It's cooked back down, goes through the roller and cooler, and the finished product is about 14% moisture. So we'll show you that now. So again, right, so it's your dry grain comes in through the intake. You have 4 red bins there, right? So your grain comes in, whether that be barley or wheat or soya or maize, right? The grain comes in, there's moisture added. With the barley, wheat, we'd bring it up to about 24% moisture. Goes into the bins and it's left to sit overnight so that the moisture goes fully into the kernel of the grain. Then the next day, dwells for the night up into the day bin through a screener, take out any stones or large particles, down into the day bin, and then this pipe auger here carries it into the toaster. The toaster, that pipe auger then is feeding the toaster at about 5 tons an hour. Sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. This part here is the burner chamber. So that's an insulated burner chamber. This is the burner itself, right? Gas-fired burner. That's shooting the flame up inside this chamber in here. The air is sucked in, ambient air is sucked in through here. So that pipe at the end has a fan at the end of it. So and that's sucking the air out. So it's coming in here, through that burner chamber, that's carrying all that hot air through here. This will be turning. The pipe auger is feeding in the material here. There's a chute that comes in at an angle inside there. And this then is, there's hot air passing through the grain as it's tossed around inside in this chamber. And that's cooking it. The temperatures in there will be between 600 and 1000 degrees. It's cooking the grain. You get, you're gelatinizing your starches, so your animal is getting more out of the grain when it finishes up. The grain goes through, it's cooking. It's like making a cake, for instance. It's like making your bread. You have to cook that flour inside there. So if you can see that, see where the chute is shooting it down. And then you have all these fins that just keep tossing the barley or tossing the grain, whatever grain it is.
It's not, it wouldn't be a quick process the way the fins are going.
No. It keeps tossing it back on itself. There's a lot of heat coming through and it's sucked back out through here. So that air is coming all the way down, up and out that. So that's, you'll actually see the steam stack outside. Maybe you got a shot of that earlier on, but that's the steam coming out. So that's the steam coming off the grain. That's what it is. It goes down then into the roller. So you can actually see they're working on the rolls there now, but this is what the rolls would look like. These are well-worn rolls and will be close to being replaced. Usually you'll have fluted along here, so you can see the signs of the fluted roll left on it. So they will be due to replace. Down through the roller at your 5 tons an hour, and then it comes back up this conveyor into the top. There's a rotary seal on top, and again there's a fan coming off the top of that big pipe there. So there's a fan back outside, and that's pulling that air out through, so that air, the cool air, goes in here and comes up through the bed. Let's see how you might be able to see bed on this. You can kind of see it, You see the way the plates are? So they will turn they'll just give a shot down like that, and that'll just discharge. The cool barley is at the bottom, and then the warm barley will be higher up. And as it discharges, so it comes up, hits this sensor, so that gives it, we have whatever, that 18-inch or 2-foot bed, and once it hits this, it'll just turn open, drop out the cool grain from the bottom, and the hot grain is continuously filling on top. So the cool air goes in from the bottom up through it, so this gets colder first, and then the warm air is dispelled out into the atmosphere. So that's it then, and then it's down onto the belt conveyor. So it's just a belt conveyor that comes up and it goes through a turn. You can see it here on the diagram. That's the way the belt goes. So the belt is coming up and around this roller and back out straight. So this allows you to throw it off into the chute. So it can come off into the chute and you can throw it out into the bay.
So that can go up and down.
And then this will just run along. So we just push it along by hand if we're changing days.
Very handily moved.
Yeah, very easy. So your finished product, flake barley, the advantages compared to roll barley is that there's no dust. So you can see each grain remains as one grain.
You don't lose any of the feeding in the dust, in the flour.
No, absolutely, no you don't. By gelatinizing starches, by cooking it, you're basically baking the product inside, and that will give your animals more energy, they'll grow faster. That's what it's for. So this will generally go into baby, calf, horse rations, baby lamb rations. It goes into all those rations as a final product. So it's a dust-free product, whereas if you roll barley, you'll have an awful lot of dust. Okay, so that's the difference, and that's what you're getting from your toasted barley. So that's again about 14.5% moisture when it finishes up. It's the same with all the grains. So the final product for maize that we saw on the intake is this flake, and again it does the same thing. So each grain will stay in its own flake. It's a little more brittle than the barley, but it does stay in its own flake, right? If you just rolled maize without going through that cooking process, it'll just smash into dust. So this is the product. It's almost like cornflakes. You have a nice flake out of it. Okay.
Take a bowl for the breakfast.
And again, it's gelatinizing starches, so your animal gets more out of it and grows faster. Okay, so all the toasting is all the same. That's toasted whole oats that will go into horse feed.
Oh, so that's whole oats. So
that's whole oats. So it goes through the same process. It's dry grain in, we add moisture, goes through the toaster, cooks the grain, and then we just open out the roll so it doesn't actually get rolled through the cooler and out into the bay. And that's your toasted whole oats for horse feed. But it's the same process for all of it. You wet it, it's like baking a cake. You wet it, you cook it, you roll it out into the bay, cool it and out into the bay.
Some looking bit of kit, so it is.
So it's not running now, so it's quiet.
It's quite handy for making the video when it's not running.
So these are the gas tanks that feed the burners. There are 3 toasters on site. Dan Toaster 2, Dan Toaster 3 and Dan Toaster 1. It's all the same process. The gas tanks are what feed those burners. That's it. That's your 3 toasters. Baggers here. Both baggers are exactly the same. The palletizers are a bit different. It's a form and seal bagger, so your plastic bags come in on a roll and do. It's called form and seal. So the machine will measure out the length of the bag in this case, seal the bottom of the next bag. It cuts the top of this bag, it brings it across, opens it up. The product falls down into it, brings it out and seals the top of the bag, and then it moves on. There's 2 weighers, so you're weighing out 25 kilos, falls down into the bag, next 25 kilos falls into the bag. He's bagging pub nuts there at the moment. So 25 kilo bags. This can do up to 1,000 bags an hour.
1,000 bags an hour?
1,000 bags an hour. It creates that palletizer. It can give you any pattern you like. It's doing a 5-bag pattern on that one. So there's a bag turner up on top that turns the bag whatever direction it wants it in, pushes it out. I'll show you up here. Alright, so the bags come in, the bag turner turns them. And it's giving you, it's a 7-row pattern, 7-bag pattern. So that's some operation. The other bagger has a robotic arm for a palletizer. It's actually under maintenance at the moment, but you're going to have to imagine it. This robotic arm picks it up and places it on the pallet. And again, that can do a 5-row, 7-row, whatever you want. It's programmable. The robotic arm will do what you want. It's a great machine. It's the same thing. 1,000 bags an hour is its capacity. That's what it'll do. Just to give you an idea,
there's a lot of bags.
Yeah, there's a wide range of bags and loads. There's another store down there. So those baggers are very busy.
Yeah. These are some amount of bags.
So that's our end product.
Calf 18.
Calf 18. And it's fully cooked, and the molasses in that is called molashines, caramel flavoured molasses. So it does some. You ever see molasses bags? Are you in a block?
Yeah, set like a block.
This coats each individual ingredient without setting, and it can real caramel smell off it. So it gets the calf interested.
So we have just finished the tour of the mill, and an amazing thing. This is the products that Liffey Mills have for the calves, and we're going to be changing up this year. We're going to be using their milk replacer and their calf muesli. We want to try and do a better job on our calves. Their milk replacer, they have 2 products. They have Adapto, which is for the calves when you bring them home and you put them on to when they transition from whole milk to powdered milk. We've always found that we get scours. First 2 weeks calves are on the feeder, they get scours, and we have to treat the scours. And that product is to avoid that, stop bloats and all that, is to help the transition, and then to move on to ELVOR High Performance, which is a higher protein content than we were feeding the last couple of years. It also is a mixture of whey and skim milk, which is supposed to be better for the calf's gut, as it's more closely resembling the whole milk that the calves would normally get. So we'll be hoping, we're changing it up in an attempt to try and get better calves coming off the field, get more weight on them, as the calves, can I think of the right word? Feed conversion rate is at its highest. He puts on weight, and that sets him up for life then, and should push them extra kilos on our carcass come 2 years time. And that's why we're changing up, we're going with these. We're also working with Liffey Mills on this, so just so you are aware. But yeah, we're looking forward to trying this out, seeing how it goes, and all going well, we should gain on the calves. We should have heavier calves, and look, you're going to see yourselves on the videos, because you get to see everything that goes on, so we will see how it works. But yeah, we're looking forward to trying this out and seeing how it goes. But anyways, I'm going to leave it at that for today's video. As I said, a bit more at the end, but that is it for me. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the tour around the mill, and it'll be interesting to see how that does. That is it from me. Good luck.